First, I want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, County Administration, our 1,400 employees, thousands of school employees that work very hard each day to deliver quality services for you and our residents. But I have to say, over the years that I've had the pleasure to serve Hanover County, I've made a lot of friends in this room. I'm really proud and humbled by the work that you do for our citizens each day, the commitment that each of you give, the servant leadership that you demonstrate to our community. Government cannot do everything for a community. Your efforts, your partnerships, your commitment to Hanover County, I applaud you for the work that you do each day because it makes us a better community collectively. Today you're going to get to hear a lot of efforts that have occurred over the past year. This was completely a team effort, and you're going to see efforts that involve impacts with our community, impacts with our staff, across agencies, supporting partnerships. And that's really been a major focus. The Board of Supervisors has made a commitment to make sure that we're as transparent, open, committed to engaging our citizens and hearing. And I hope you'll hear that message from us today. This work is really a team sport. We work with you to deliver the best services we can for our residents. I want you to hear from some of our folks as well.
Back in 1719, the stories begin in Hanover County, where the wildwoods sang. The monkey and Chickahominy, their spirits roam through hunting grounds they called their home. Tobacco and tomatoes, fields rich and green, the land bore plenty, folks lived by the stream. Patrick Henry's voice echoed the call for liberty, fueling the revolution, dreaming to be free. From the past to the present, our roots run deep in Hanover County, where histories keep. From echoes of the war to schools that shine bright, the future's unfolding like dawn's early light.
Doesn't that make you proud to be part of Hanover? It really does me each day and inspires myself and our team to do the work we do on your behalf. Engagement is our theme this year, but it really goes beyond just us being involved in our community. It's us listening, us hearing, us enacting initiatives based on your feedback. This year, we really made an effort to engage our residents. Our Parks and Recreation Master Plan is underway. You saw a couple of the photos in here, and you'll see more about our centenarian celebrations. It's amazing to go celebrate individuals in our community that have lived and been part of our community for over 100 years. That's one of my most favorite events each year, but there's countless events that we've engaged our residents and heard our residents, and their feedback, their input makes us a better community. We're really proud of those efforts. I'm also proud of that 1,400 employees that do this work on behalf of our community each day. We really work under a servant leadership model. How do we serve our community better each day? And this team, a very diverse team. We have folks that have medical degrees all the way down to individuals that work on grounds and everywhere in between. And it takes every one of those individuals firing on all cylinders to deliver high quality services. We're really proud of that talent, the team that we've been able to assemble in support of our community. This is not done without the leadership of our Board of Supervisors. This past year, as you know, we have 3 new members that joined the Board of Supervisors in January. Under the very capable leadership of Chair Dibble this year, we've been working through a lot of initiatives. Vice Chair Mr. Herzberg and the full board has been really committed to moving the community forward, looking forward, having that vision of how we want the Hanover to look in the next 25 years. The work that we have done together, I'm really proud. The 3 newest members have jumped right in on behalf of their constituents, and collectively they are making a difference in their leadership. I'm not just saying this because they do my evaluation. I'm saying it because I'm proud to work for them, and I'm proud to work with our team to deliver their vision. We've had a number of new members join our senior leadership team, either through promotions or hires. And while we've had some talent leave Hanover County due to retirements after many years of quality service. We've been able to bring in new talent that's continuing to evolve and move Hanover County forward. I'm proud of the teams that we're being able to put on. Each year that I want to make an emphasis, we don't do this work for accolades. Brian said earlier, we don't do this for the pats on the back or telling us thank you, and we don't. But it is nice for you to know that the quality of services that you see are not only being recognized here in Hanover County, but we're being recognized both in regionally, statewide, and beyond. One of the awards that I'm really proud of that we received is a Top Places to Work recognition in the past year. This really helps identify a place that people want to be a part of, contribute, and make a difference. And we're really proud that we've been recognized with that. But across departments, initiatives, and programs, anything from our DASH program that provides rides to seniors and disabled individuals in our community, the work our Community Services Board is doing, 911, being able to work with economic development. Brandon's going to be able to share with you some of those recognitions that we received over the past year. Also, we take for granted some of the things that we get because it's just based in our DNA. When we're getting AAA bond ratings and we're getting recognized for budget awards and annual audit reports, that is Hanover's way. Our way is to maintain an extremely high standard. I'm proud of the team that works together to do this. Engagement. I started today's discussions with making an emphasis on engagement. And I hope over the past year you've seen the work that our team has done. We've really been intentional. Kristen Smith Dunlap, I know is here with us. Alice is here with us, and Shelby behind the camera. They are the ones that make us look as good as we do. Some of you had a chance to see the new Hanover Review. Everyone get that within the past couple weeks? Well improved. That's under this team has really evolved that document. And something really proud. It's not just about us, it's about our community. It's about us telling that story of why Hanover is such a great place to live, work, and do business. We started a Citizens Academy this year. The first time. We've had these in planning in the past, and the Sheriff's Office has done one. We have a full class that's already moving into night 3, I believe, next Tuesday. And I have to tell you, this is something that we've been looking to do a long time. We want our folks to be engaged, understand how their government works. And I will tell you, this class is very inquisitive, and we're looking forward to learning from them. We've started a podcast this year. Everyone takes information in different ways. Some folks still want that printed newsletter delivered to their house. Some folks use an app on their phone and everything in between. And so we're trying to make sure we're hitting all mediums to get information out to our residents. And a lot of this information is starting to evolve in two ways. It's not just us telling you, but I think you're going to see over the next year where we have opportunities for residents to provide feedback for us. You're already seeing that in the newsletter now. If you get our newsletter, if you don't, I encourage you to sign up. The newsletter is new and improved, and it includes a great deal of information each week. Sign up for it on our website, but you also get an idea of upcoming events and activities that are in there that the county's putting on. We do a survey almost every week to get feedback from our residents on another issue, and that's a way you can engage with us as well. I want to share a little bit about the investments that we're making in our community over the past year.
Hanover County is investing in spaces that inspire, connect, and protect. This year, 3 major projects came to life, all aimed at enriching the community for years to come. In August, we cut the ribbon at Ashland Elementary School, uniting students from John M. Gandy and Henry Clay Elementaries under one roof.
To bring both the staff and the students into one new building with bright open spaces and beautiful classrooms to learn has been so exciting. We have so much energy this year as we kick off our school year, and our students are really excited to learn in such a wonderful, beautiful building.
In October, we celebrated opening the new Montpelier Recreation Center and Library. The 20,000 square foot facility is Hanover's first purpose-built recreation center.
It is a place where friends will meet, families will make memories, and our community will grow even closer together.
It features a full-size gym for basketball, volleyball, and pickleball, classrooms for activities, and a library that's 3 times the size of the previous branch. Coming in December, Fire Station 17. It will help improve response times in the Laurel Meadow area, and it's built to expand as community needs grow.
I'm so excited for the station to be up and running. We cannot wait to better serve the citizens with quicker response time.
We're an addition to this particular neighborhood, so we want to provide a warm, welcoming atmosphere and environment. We want the neighbors to know that they're welcome here.
Together, these new facilities reflect Hanover County's commitment to a bright future and a stronger community.
Folks, I'm proud to share that this is just the beginning. These are just the beginning of the investments that this Board of Supervisors has committed to our community. We're really proud to open Ashland Elementary. Our schools have served our community very well for many years, but we're currently in design for Beaver Dam Elementary, Battlefield Elementary, Washington Henry Elementary School is going to be coming up, and yet an additional campus-style elementary school within the next 5 years. That's major investments. I don't think there was a 5-year period of time in Hanover's history we made this kind of investment. This is not due to rampant growth. We've had very managed growth in our community. This is due to our facilities really aging out. Some of our schools will be over 80 years old when we replace them. And so they're great additions to our community. At this time, we only have one school that's over capacity. And you know, our school board and that team is also looking at boundary districts and those kinds of things that can even those kinds of issues out as far as it relates to our attendance zones. Public safety, you saw Station 17, that's right up the road here. You may have seen it on your way in. That station's going to be opening to the public or the staff in December and start running calls out of there very shortly. And so we're really proud of the new station. That's going to serve as a model as we move into Doswell and Montpelier with our next 2 fire stations. We're also combining public safety into one building on our campus. You know where the sheriff's office is now, and Fire and EMS is up the street in Station 5. We're combining administrative leadership training functions into a new building in the next year. The Wickham building, if you know if you voted early, you know the section that I'm talking about. We're also planning to renovate. That's the last on-campus renovation that we need to do. That where the registrar's side of that building is, and what we call the Wickham Annex, which is at the end of the breezeway. And you're going to see moving into next year a boardroom that allows us to be more interactive with those in our meeting room space. We'll be able to host different kinds of events. We're upgrading that. That system has served us well, but technology has evolved over the past 25 years when it was put in. And so we're looking forward to making those investments and better serving our residents. Last year, I told you that as we look forward, we were going to really look forward about that quality of life piece of our community and parks and recreation and the amenities that we're able to offer to our residents. We're proud of what we have, but this board also challenged us to make sure that we were responding to our community. We made major investments in the current year's budget, and I'm proud to say that we're moving forward with pickleball court lights at Pole Green Park. We're adding pickleball courts to Poor Farm Park, Courthouse Park. We're also adding restrooms. You may have seen recently, if you've been to any of our parks, upgrades to our base facilities. So we're improving anything from fencing to field space to lighting and those kinds of things. We are a major part of a network of sports tourism in this region. And our investments really will reflect more opportunities for those tourism dollars to come here. Just this weekend, hosting a major cross-country event at Pole Green Park. And we are recognized throughout the region and East Coast as a major destination for cross-country running. And we're going to keep making those investments to maintain that destination for those events and more. I want to mention, and it sounds like a small thing, but we put AEDs on here for a reason. This year, you know, we always want to have that resource in case you need it, but you hope you never need it. We had one at Pole Green Park. Within a couple weeks, a life was saved because that AED was there. And we shared that story. I'm also proud to say, because we did that, a citizen that's very engaged with one of our boards has decided that they wanted to donate 10 additional AEDs to our park system. That's the kind of community we have that cares about our community and wants to make sure that they're also helping take care. This project we're extremely excited about, the Fall Line Trail. If you're not familiar with this is a 42-mile trail that I like to say begins in Ashland and ends in Chesterfield. But They think the mile zero is in Chesterfield. I disagree. And I'm sure my friends in the town disagree as well. But really, if you've been on the Capitol Trail, this one I think is even going to be more dynamic. There's going to be more opportunities for residential neighborhoods, shopping, universities, educational entities, all to engage on this trail. And this is one of those trails that everyone of all abilities can use. And so we're excited. The Hanover leg will be the first leg of the Fall Line Trail to be completed. And some of that is because our partners and friends in the town of Ashland started their component. I dare say they're ahead of schedule. So we're excited. It will run from Hanover all the way down to a rec center in Henrico County, which is about a 5-mile leg. And so even novice riders can do a 5-mile down and back. And so I think it's going to be a great addition to our community. And you'll see more of those legs moving forward in the future. Road projects, outside of broadband, road projects are like, when are you going to fix Pole Green Road? When are you going to do this? And a lot of times road projects, from the time we begin talking about them to delivering them, it could be 6 to 7 years for projects. We are now, right now, as we speak, investing $237 million in road infrastructure in Hanover County. And it's going to touch all areas of our county, major intersections, solve any of the areas that are high accident areas, plus also make sure that we can accommodate the traffic loads and safety of our residents. And so I think everyone knows 360, if you came in on 360 today, that project's going to come to a completion here after the first of the year. Pole Green Road has been a long-standing issue. That project's in the right-of-way phase. Hopefully begins construction on that next year. Those of you up in the Atlee Station corridor, we did some widening and the flyover in the past. So at Atlee High's entrance all the way up to Kings Charter Drive will be the next phase, and that work is underway. And so many more. We have roundabout projects, other safety projects throughout the county. And that's not even including our rural paving projects that we're expanding roads, making those networks safer for our community. Sidewalk projects, our residents told us we want connectivity, especially in our higher density areas. And in the past year, working with our community, they wanted improvements at Cool Spring Elementary. We were able to apply for some grants, use local funds generated from the Central Virginia Transportation Authority to deliver that for our residents. Both in the town of Ashland and in Mechanicsville, there is an additional service that you may not be familiar with, and it's not GRTC's traditional bus services. You don't see GRTC buses coming into Hanover, but what is available both in the town and in Mechanicsville is a service that's micro-transit. It's more like a bus like you would see in our DASH program that does point-to-point services for our residents, and that's a new service provided in the past year. If you live in Ashland, you've probably asked me, what are you doing with Henry Clay Elementary School? And probably no less than 5 times. This is an important asset to the town of Ashland and the community that surrounds it. It has history to our community. The important piece about this that I will share with you, in just next week, the building will be turned over formally from the school board to Hanover County. We plan to begin a process formally in January, moving throughout late winter into the spring to really work with our community, listen to our community, and bring some recommendations to the board on what the opportunities are for that facility. We also will be, not only the community meetings and that engagement, as of today, we're even soft launching a website that will allow people to start providing feedback. I will say this is one of those buildings that there's a lot of great ideas and everybody wants, hey, why don't you put a rec center there? Why don't you build it out and give it to me to use? That's likely not to happen. So we're going to look for real partners that can deliver something that the town of Ashland and those residents can be proud of. And we're committed to working with the board in the spring to deliver that. Broadband is probably the #1 that I get beyond transportation, and lately it's been splash pads and parks that people want. Broadband, we made a commitment, and we're now moving into the reality of this commitment to our residents. At the end of this month, we are breaking ground on our partnership with All Points beginning in the Cold Harbor area. That project, why are we starting in the east? Dominion Power's poles were the first to be approved in 3 particular zones, so we're moving from the east. Currently, Brightspeed is actually putting in fiber in the west. Residents in the west that will be in that Brightspeed area will actually be able to connect even sooner than our All Points areas. but that we're also going to be moving through the western side of the county, and it'll be a combination of overhead lines and underground lines. We anticipate between this November and next November, all the construction to be complete, and connections will begin in February and run to the following February. That will cover about 95% of the residents in Hanover County that is either underserved or unserved right now. We're committed, this board is committed to also working to achieve 100% access to broadband for our residents if a resident chooses they want it. And we are working on that 5% right now and applying for additional funding. I do want to thank our state partners. That state funding is extremely critical to delivering this project. Delegate Wyatt, I know Senator McDougall had to step out, but your commitment to helping us with that, we're grateful, and our residents are grateful. So that's moving forward. We talked about plans. Last year I started to share this with you. We're delivering. If you lived in Hanover in the past 2 years and didn't come to a comprehensive plan meeting, you had about 30 opportunities to come, get engaged, tell us what you want. And we're proud of that work because that plan, I do believe, truly reflects our residents. But as our residents' thoughts and perspectives change, we have to be nimble to be able to respond to those as well. So we've just adopted our new strategic plan, but it's really all of this coming together to deliver what you and our residents want for their community. I'm really proud of the partnership that we have with our Sheriff's Office, our Fire and EMS, our 911 communications, Animal Control, all of them working together continue to deliver high quality service, to deliver a community that we can be safe and proud to live in. I'd like to share a little bit of the work that we're doing with our public safety partners.
Hanover County is taking public safety to the next level. This year, Hanover Fire EMS added 25 new firefighter medic positions, so more trained hands are on deck when every second matters. We're wrapping up construction on a new fire station and are already planning to replace 3 additional stations. We also invested over $2 million in state-of-the-art cardiac monitors and AEDs.
This has been a significant investment and truly would not be possible without the support from our community. And it's truly a partnership, a cyclical partnership that continues where we're all one team working for that common goal in serving our community.
The Hanover County Sheriff's Office is also making big strides, placing a deputy in every school.
There is no place in our county that has more of our citizens in it than our schools. Every day we make investments within the community to build that relationship between our students and law enforcement and have that relationship start early and grow.
Significant advancements took place this year as emergency communications migrated from old technology to the next generation 911 platform. This upgrade enables a faster and more accurate emergency response. Animal Control is renovating its adoption area to create a better experience for both pets and prospective adopters. Looking ahead, we're planning for a new public safety building that will house both Fire EMS and the Sheriff's Office. Together, these efforts show Hanover's commitment to giving our residents the best in public safety.
You know, local government has 2 primary functions for its citizens. It's delivering quality public safety and public education, but there's so much more. Human services is a growing need in all communities throughout the nation, and Hanover is no different. We are proud of the teams that we have working together with both our Community Services Board, Social Services, and all of the partners that work with them. But we were able to do some very unique things and bring some initiatives back. Our Adult Recovery Court launched July 1. Our Commonwealth Attorney is a major partner with us, and so thank you, Mackenzie, and your team and the judges for your efforts there. But the opioid task force work that we're doing, not only in Hanover, but being a regional partner. Hanover was chosen for the kinship bill signing and the work that we're able to do on behalf of our residents and parents as it relates to foster care. Hanover was recognized for those efforts, and they came to Hanover to do that signing. We're really proud of the work that our teams are doing on behalf of our residents. I mentioned the other half, which is public education. Dr. Pennycuff, I appreciate your leadership, your team's work, and our partnership. The Board of Supervisors and our appointed school board work very closely together to try to deliver quality results for our community. I have the pleasure on your behalf to be able to share some of those efforts today.
Hello, I'm Lisa Pennycuff, and I am proud to serve as the Interim Superintendent of Hanover County Public Schools. I am very pleased to share that Hanover County remains a leader in academic success, both in the Richmond region and across Virginia. We continue to have an exceptionally high graduation rate. We outperform the state averages in all subject areas, and we even have the highest SOL pass rate in math among Virginia's largest school divisions. In the past year, Hanover County has also become home to the Virginia Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Avanti Yamamoto of Atlee High School, and a recipient of the Oscar of Teaching Award, Mr. Travis Dodds, also of Atlee High. We've committed to improving the literacy of our students as we implement the Virginia Literacy Act, and our future in preparing the workforce of tomorrow continues to be very bright. Thank you for your support of this life-changing work that helps to ensure we continue to provide our students with the highest quality education for their futures.
You should be very proud of your public school system. We are amongst the best in not only in this region, but within the Commonwealth. The talent that we have within our school system is second to none. The efforts that they put on behalf of your children, my children each day, and especially with the Budesky children, the patience that they've had. And I'm proud to have an 11th grade student at Atlee High School right now, and also a graduate from Atlee High School. One of the things that we've heard a lot about, and I think everyone in this room knows that our community had a referendum on what should we have an elected school board or an appointed school board. At the end of the day, our residents came out in support of maintaining an appointed school board system. When we started this year, the board collectively said, look, we heard from our residents, but we can do better even with our appointed process. And there was a lot of intentionality about making sure we had a very transparent process. We had more open time for people to come. We had dedicated public hearing night applications. We produced the names for those that submitted prior to the night of the public hearing. There were active meetings with the candidates that put their names in. You may know we had 2 new appointments this year and an additional appointment due to a resignation. And so 3 new school board members came in under these processes. I hope you saw that the process was as good as it's ever been, more transparent, more open to our community, so we can make sure folks realize that we take this serious, we value the feedback from our community in this process, and that we want the same things all of our residents want. I mentioned this earlier, I'm not going to spend a lot more time on it because you see this slide on every year and it starts to become, oh, that's just Hanover. No, we're one of 53 counties in the nation that has a AAA bond rating. I'm really proud of that. We have a region that has multiple AAA counties. There's only one other area in the nation, Raleigh-Durham, that has multiple counties with AAA bond ratings. Our partnerships that goes beyond Hanover with Henrico County, Chesterfield County, Goochland County is now AAA. And the city of Richmond actually got 1 AAA this year. And so this is not, it's done through dedicated financial management across divisions and partnerships, our partnership with our treasurer's office, and Commissioner Revenue, everybody working together to deliver high quality services. Yes, do we save money when we have a AAA bond rating? We're saving our community millions of dollars by maintaining a AAA bond rating over terms of loans when we make those investments I shared with you earlier. Proud of the team for the work that they do. I share this every year. We're now $750 million operation on your behalf each year. And as I said earlier, you can see where our priorities are going. This year in particular, because we're borrowing debt for major projects, you see debt up. But really, public education, public safety, human services, and debt are our top cost areas. Everything else that includes parks and recreation, library services, all more what would be considered discretionary services, but our residents have asked for and demanded over time, and our board has supported, all falls in after those top 2 priorities. If we don't have a safe community and well-educated community, we can't do much of the other services well. This is your general fund budget. So where is your local tax dollars going? And you can see it aligns very closely with what I just shared with you. So only 16% of the dollars go into things that I didn't just mention to you. So we're operating a pretty lean organization from an administrative overhead standpoint. We continue to maintain the lowest real property tax in the region, and we've been able to maintain this now for well over 10 years. And so this is something we're proud of. It does make us manage within constraints. This is getting more and more challenges as the market changes underneath of us, house values going up and those kinds of things, but we've been able to continue to deliver those high quality services at the lowest rate. We also started to see a drop in residential home starts last year. And there's a number of reasons for that. Our lots are getting less and less each year, but you're starting to see a little bit of a shift. We wanted to be intentional about housing going into our suburban services area where our utilities are. We're actually seeing residential units move beyond the suburban services area. But the numbers that we had, we're almost down, not quite half of just a couple years ago of housing starts. There's pros and cons to all of this because there's an inventory supply cost side of all of this that has different implications for some of our residents. Residential home values, median sales price. I think I made it a point to look at this again, make sure I had the current numbers. The median sales price of a new house was over $600,000 last year. On resales, it was around $420,000 last year. Big changes in the market, and that has impacted first-time home buyers and those kinds of things. If you're looking to sell, that's great news. If you're not, the value that you're absorbing in those kinds of things, we take that serious and understand that. So when I recommend a tax rate to this board, and I will tell you this board never tells me, bring me a tax increase in your recommendations. We take that cognizant because we know our residents struggle with the income that they have to maximize it as much as possible. As I begin to wrap up my part, partnerships are key. I mentioned this earlier. And some folks every once in a while ask me, do you actually work with the town of Ashland? Are you guys partners? And I will tell you that I'm really proud of the relationship we have. We have different interests at the end of the day, but we still work together as partners. And Josh and Nora, I see you're here, and others, the mayor and the council, we're proud of that relationship that we have with you, and thank you for that partnership. But it goes beyond. Some of the other community partners were recognized here at the welcoming. We are a major part of the Richmond region. We are amongst what they call the big four in the region. So as it relates to tourism, economic development, other kinds of partnerships that we engage in, your voice is heard not just in Hanover, but beyond. Many of your board members serve in leadership capacities regionally representing you. And you should be proud to have that representation on a daily basis because it really expands our reach and opens doors that otherwise wouldn't be. As I switch over to Brandon, and then I'll come back and wrap up here today, really want to thank you and the business partnership, our partnership with the Chamber. We really value this. It's not something we say, we put it into action and really value the long-term partnership we had, but also collectively with all your businesses. So I'm going to turn this over to Brandon. Thank you for your patience so far.
I already know it's a better morning than a year ago when I did this. A year ago, I was new to the position. Also, a year ago today, it was 19 degrees when we came in. So it's already a much brighter day. So again, Brandon Turner, Director of Economic Development. I've been in the county about 7 years at this point. I've been in this position about a year and a half. I want to make sure you all are aware of our team. I think most of you know these individuals. They're sitting somewhere right over there. So if you don't know them, get to know them before you leave. Armand Smith, our Deputy Director, works hard to bring business into the community. Ann Glave works hard to keep businesses here in the community to address issues and concerns when they arise. And Angela Wright is our Marketing Manager. She helps to make sure everything we put out looks good, our newsletters, our reports, everything. She does an incredible job. Beth Harper is not here with us today. She's the office manager, makes sure we get paid and the lights stay on, so she's very critical to our organization. Very proud of this team. You will not find 4 more passionate individuals working for economic development in the metro region, and that says a lot because we are made up of a region of very passionate individuals. So very proud of those individuals. So I want to start out, you got to get numbers, of course, from an economist, such as I am. GDP, gross domestic product, the value of all goods and services produced in the county in the past year. There's a lag time on this data, so we're actually going to be getting 23's numbers probably in the next month. But up to 22, you can kind of see the results here. We had good, strong growth before COVID, flatlined during COVID, and then, boy, we've been on a rocket ever since. And I anticipate this past year we've seen very similar numbers. We may not be 12.7%. That's pretty impressive. But I think we're going to come in pretty good. The FIRE industries, finance industry, real estate, that's our largest sector. Wholesale trade, professional business services, and retail trade make up some of the top ones. We are now the 19th largest economy in Virginia. We moved up a space over the past year, so pretty impressive. I'm not going through all of this, but I will just say that our labor force is about 62,700. That's a record high labor force for the county. We have more than recovered the jobs that we lost during COVID. We added another 2,700 or so last year. Change in jobs, construction, and logistics. We've seen significant upticks over the past 5 years. I don't think anybody is surprised at that. Healthcare is interesting. It dropped off a little after COVID, but it's rebounding, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to see those numbers go up noticeably over the next few years. Manufacturing is increasing, and that, of course, no economist on earth wants to turn away manufacturing jobs. So very happy to see that that sector is growing very slow but steady. I'm going to be working on that. And professional technical is also up over the past 5 years. All right, I love to tell good news. I always love to brag on the good things, but there's one thing in this report this year that Angie pointed to my attention that I do not like, and that is our average annual wage went down last year, and that is unacceptable. We're working on some strategies to make sure that we get that up over the next 5 years, and some of those I'm going to talk about in just a second. So commercial permit values still staying strong in the county. We are still down off of that amazing high that we had in FY22 after the COVID years, but still doing very strong. And we're set to have a very good year this year. We just got reports of building permits, I think it was this week, and has some good numbers on there. Want to talk real quick about vacancy rates. So one, you start to see these vacancy rates for industrial and flex buildings, and you're like, uh-oh, you know, we're trending up. That's not necessarily a completely bad thing, because during COVID, when we had rates down to, at one point, 0.7%, we had nowhere to put anybody. Not just new business, but people that wanted to expand in this county had nowhere to go. So we do have some inventory. A lot of this is the large concrete shell buildings, and people say, well, it's just warehouses. There's manufacturing going on in these buildings. There's logistics. They're home to new businesses and your current businesses that have expanded. And so this has given us a little bit of a breathing room. I will tell you that interest in these vacant buildings, and there's only a handful of them really, is picking up. I also want to point out retail. We have a 1.4% vacancy rate. It's a struggle to find retail space in certain parts of the county. And I had somebody say the other day, well, out on 360 on the edge of Mechanicsville, there's some space. There is, but there's also not as many people, and retail follows rooftops. Finding space near my office off of 301 or in the US 1 corridor is a challenge, but we do have some inventory coming on the market that's going to help that. Then I love to brag regionally that we have a 4.5% office vacancy rate, which is astonishingly low. But of course, we haven't had a lot of big offices built in the past 20 years. That helps, you know. But we actually have a need for some office space in some areas of the county, and that's to support population growth and other growth that we're seeing. So product development, a couple of the buildings that we've seen come online or are coming online over the next few months on the left. I want to talk real quick about the I-64 Industrial Park. Some of you have heard me say this, that the flying unicorn of a property that we struggle to find every day, 2 to 5 acres that allows industrial use with outdoor storage. It is a challenge in the region. It's a challenge in Hanover. This development straddles the Hanover-Goochland line, and we will be adding, it's only about 5 or 6 of the parcels that are in Hanover County, but this will be adding much needed inventory to the market. And most of these type businesses are mom and pops, your neighbors, your sons, your mothers who own these types of businesses. So think lay down yards, landscaping, equipment rental, etc. This is going to help us out considerably. Marketing has not really picked up on this property. They've kind of quietly pushed it out, and they've already gotten, I think, about 5 of the lots interest and or sold. So I think you're going to see that take off. Has anybody ever heard me talk about a data center? Because if you haven't talked to me. This is a considerable amount of my time, and I tell people all the time, 2 years ago, I couldn't tell you anything about a data center. I could teach a class now. I think Scott Brown was here a minute. There he is. If you ever want to know anything about a data center, ask Scott Brown with Pixel Factory. It's fascinating. It really is. The cool thing about my job is I get to learn about brand new industry sectors that affect all of us that I never thought about. Right now, there's probably 100, 200, 300 devices in this room interacting with a data center. You interact with them from the time you get up in the morning until you go to bed at night. Every time you swipe a card, every time you check a bank statement, stream a video, answer a call, send a photo. you're using these facilities. And right now, there's a shortage of space for these facilities as we continue to become more digitized. And guess what? Artificial intelligence, those AI, those two letters we're hearing every day now, they use between 5 and 10 times more computing power. So back of the napkin math, you're going to need 5 to 10 times more of these things over the next 20 years or so if we continue to digitize. And I don't think who wants to give their phone up? Well, I mean, yeah, me too. But realistically, we're not doing that. We're going to continue to be digitized. So over the past year, we rezoned about 1,200 acres in the northern part of the county that will hold eventually about 8 campuses. We could see upwards of $10 to $15 billion of investment on this property. This is already getting significant attention in the data center world. 200 acres currently under the rezoning process. I think the town has already approved. It's going through the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors here in the county as we speak. We have other projects under consideration from small data centers to large that are being discussed. I'm getting antsy. I want an announcement. I've talked about it 2 years, and I'm ready for a project. They're coming. Why do we like them? They bring really good jobs. So data center jobs can range anywhere from, you have some that are, typically like an average paid job, but $150,000, $200,000 a year. And that's what we want to see in our community. Again, bringing those wages up, this will help. The other thing is tax revenue. And, some people say, well, that's all you look at when you look at these things. It is not. Trust me, it is not. We have steered some of these things away from areas where they would not fit, et cetera. But we have to look at tax revenue. We want schools, we want parks, we want safety. That all costs money. We did a study in our office not long ago. Of all the industry sectors out there per acre for tax revenue generation, these guys are behemoths. I mean, it is staggering. So the tract data center alone could generate well over $100 million a year in tax revenue. That can be used for increased services, reducing taxes, whatever you all, the board, decides to do. But it gives us options and opportunities that we don't currently have. So just keep that in mind. You will hear, if you hear any more of my presentations in the future, you will hear this more and more because it is coming out of Northern Virginia. New business announcements. We had 145 new businesses, expansions, or announcements in FY24. It was a pretty good year, so some of those you can see on here. We're very proud of CIUS. I brag on those guys a lot. They announced shortly before Christmas last year their first expansion ever out of South Carolina, and the company's first expansion ever was Hanover County. They distribute equipment to the electrical industry. And they're small mom and pop business, and it was a big deal for them to take a leap out of South Carolina. And again, we were the first place they ever came. Great group of people to work with. Business announcements. So some of the things that were announced this past year, of course, Wegmans up and fully operational. We had Sanmar announce their 1 million square foot facility north of Ashland. They're actually getting ready to invest a significant amount of money into automation. Because this has become their signature showcase logistics facility. They have about 8 or 9 in the country. They are flying people in here on a regular basis to look at this, which is a good look for Hanover County. New retail investment, shops at Rutland Grove near my office. And of course, got to bring up food. We had some good year with food. Barbecue was apparently popular to open this year. Hobby Lobby opened up, Intermission Beer. So we've had a good year with announcements and openings. We have, so we want to bring the guys and girls in, but we want to help the ones we have expand. And so Lutron's in the process of a $28 million announcement. Architecture Products of Virginia moved into a new building. They were very crunched at the space they were currently in. Virginia Artisan has announced an expansion. Blazer opened a new headquarters. We've had a great year with our existing businesses. Ann works very closely with them. A lot of people, probably some of you in this room, when you want to start expand, you don't know what to do. I mean, just the construction alone is challenging, but navigating the processes from the local government, state government sides is challenging, and that's one thing that we help with. We may not be able to do it in our office, but we know who to get to the table and get it done. So one of the companies that we've had rev up this past year was Cascades. It's at the old Bear Island facility in Doswell. I'll let them kind of speak as to what they do, but this is one of the most fascinating places you would ever visit.
The company was founded in 1964 by 3 brothers, the Lemaire brothers. Here we are producing linerboard and medium grades to produce boxboard. So we produce roll of papers that are sold to converting plants, and in these facilities they produce the boxes. Here we are processing 500,000 tons per year of recycled box to produce the paper to reproduce boxes. So really it's a circular economy. It's really in our DNA to recycle and to make good products out of what people consider trash. Just the project by itself required a lot of local contractors to do the conversion. I think that there's good local impacts just out of that. And Hanover County has been very, very great to work with.
So one, if you visit this place, you'll never look at a cardboard box the same way again. Secondly, please recycle your cardboard boxes. I know a lot of them are coming to your front porches soon. They need the raw materials. But an outstanding adaptive reuse project that moved into a shuttered paper mill. These guys have been absolutely wonderful to work with. So business engagement, we continue to reach out through our partners from Greater Richmond Partnership, Hanover Chamber of Commerce, the SBDC, et cetera, to work with our existing and our new businesses. We work to partner and do classes, education workshops, et cetera, to help people launch and grow their business. Got a couple things coming up in the future with DEIC and SBDC. Business walks and organizes and coordinates a number of business walks per year, just canvassing an area to walk into business and say, hey, how are you doing? Anything we can help you with? If not, give us a call. If we can, let's work. Have a very good outreach business retention and expansion program I'm very proud of. Marketing and engagement, we continue to keep our website up. Our website's 10 years old, which in technology terms is dinosaur. So we're going to be revamping that over the next year. We continue to promote workforce assistance when we can. If you have job openings that you want us to promote, please let us know. Our Hiring in Hanover app received 2 awards last year. We received one from the International Economic Development Council. We also received one from VEDA, the Virginia Economic Developers Association, called the GOAT Award. So we have a nice little GOAT trophy in our office. We launched a newsletter this past year. Initially, we thought, let's just do this once a quarter to get news out. Then it turned into, well, we're going to have to do it every other month because we get too much to share. Now it's every month, and we're still trying to condense it because we don't want to overwhelm anybody. And so if you're not signed up, please sign up. It's a good way to get information, good stories. I've heard a lot of feedback because we also highlight the new restaurants that are opening, and people really get excited about that, myself included. There we go. So not a true mandate of our office, but kind of a support that we do is agriculture and tourism. And so we've had a good year with tourism here. We work very closely with Richmond Region Tourism. I'm actually presenting to you all today as well. So we had a record year in visitor expenditures this past year, $229 million. That resulted in a record year also of tourism and hospitality. Kings Dominion announced they're launching a new roller coaster. I've heard it's close to completion and testing. That'll be ready in the spring. I've told plenty of people you will not see me on it, but if you want to go check it out in the spring, you go right ahead. We were ranked as part of the Richmond area as one of the #1 best, well, we were #1 best town in America to visit. That's a big deal. Again, the Richmond name gets out there, but when people come here, they're not going just to Richmond, they're going to the Richmond area. So we benefit greatly from rankings like this. This past year, the Ag Tourism Census came out. Talk about lag time. This is like 2 years behind. But agriculture continues to actually grow a little bit in Hanover County, which is very good. Revenue has increased, which is also beneficial from 2017 to 2022. Pointing out ag tourism. In 2017, we had 9 farms with about $64,000 in revenue that were considered ag tourism in the county. We're now up to 26 farms generating about $685,000 in revenue on ag tourism. Again, that lag time is about 2 years. I bet that number is higher now. We are really seeing a lot of the ag tourism, and we work closely with some of them to help connect them with resources, to educate them. What I've found with ag tourism in the past is a number of people come in and have a hobby where they want to grow something or raise something and then realize how much it costs, and they need to actually let that little animal make some money. And so they don't know how to do it. And so we've worked with some resources with Dominion Energy Innovation Center in our office to help promote. And here's a wonderful example of a partnership that we have helped to foster.
My name is Carrie Smith, and I am the owner here at Rhythm Ranch Homestead. Our tours are an opportunity for people to not only come out and meet our animals and interact with them, but also to look around at everything we have here and to say, I think I could do that. Maybe even just a little part, maybe have a greenhouse, maybe have a few chickens to provide eggs. But to educate people into understanding that, hey, if I did it growing up without even having a dog, you can do it too.
The AgX program is designed to teach these agriculturalists what they need to know in order to sustainably grow their business, to take their business to the next level, to really reach out and have a bigger community impact while also making sure that their bottom line stays healthy.
A lot of times in the agritourism world, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants because a lot of the things that we do are controlled by the weather. They're controlled by plants that are going to grow or not grow, or by animals that are going to get pregnant or not get pregnant, breedings that may or may not take. There's a lot of things that are up in the air. So working with AgX really helped me to identify some of the areas of opportunity that I had that I could control and that I could put into place and that I could really start to work with.
If you go, keep in mind, baby goats love to eat shoestrings. Learned that the hard way. So, Economic Development Authority. If you don't know these 7 individuals, get to know them. Anybody from the EDA here this morning? I didn't see anybody. Appointed by the Board of Supervisors, the EDA works in collaboration with our office to help promote and foster economic development. In the past, our EDA has been a little bit quiet. That is not the case anymore. They're getting more engaged, more energized, and so they want to help complement and bring in smart, strategic growth and projects into the right areas. So these individuals had a workshop with the board in May and had a lot of collaboration, good interaction, got some good guidance from the board and support, and so they're going to be working with our office to help further some projects here in the community over the next few decades and then on. One thing they just helped accomplish was the passing of industrial revenue bonds that will help support the Virginia Home. I think I saw the Virginia Home here this morning. That's a new project coming to the county pretty soon. We're very excited about that. Also, we're in the process of working on our strategic plan. We've been trying to get this thing rolling for several years now, but it's just been one thing after another, and we've had to put it off. Also, we wanted to wait and get the comp plan completed, but to identify where we want to focus growth. We did our industry cluster analysis last year. What kind of projects do we want to support in this community? So now we're going to tie that all together with strategic planning. So all of this is up until July the 1st. So a couple of exciting things have happened since then. Our workforce app has won another award. Virginia Association of Counties has granted us our 3rd award. We probably will not be submitting it much more and chance our luck with getting any more. But very excited about that. We've had new business announcements, groundbreakings. Bon Secours breaking ground on their new emergency center. Chipotle and Starbucks on 301 are now open. My office is very excited about that. NEFCO has come to the community, a couple of other things. I will say the most important announcement we've had since July the 1st that is getting the most exciting is Wong's Tacos will be coming near my office, and they are grading right now. So we are counting down to get some Korean tacos. That's all of my section. I will say that our annual report has a lot more information in it. This QR code will take you to that. You can find it on our website. We've had a good year. You know, I tell people all the time, yes, there's challenges. Yes, there's things that, you know, I wish would be a little different or wish we could have got this project or something. I dare say 90% of the localities in the country would love to be in the situation we're in. Strong fiscally, safe, good education system, bringing jobs and opportunities in. You know, there's a lot of counties. I come from one where I had to leave because there was no job for me. Your children, your grandchildren, we don't want that to happen, and it's not happening. And so, you know, we often beat ourselves up, but as John says a lot, let's sit back and be happy about it. Be thankful that we are in the situation that we are in. And we're going to work through these challenges. I'm very excited. As I told you all last year, I took the job because I was excited about the future of Hanover County. If I didn't think we had a future, I wouldn't have taken it. And I'm more excited now than I was last year. So thank you all for everything you do. We would not be here if it wasn't for all the business owners, Board of Supervisors, department heads, partners, et cetera. So John, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Brandon. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We're almost to the end here today, and if you have any questions, we'll stick around or answer them for you. But really, it's working together, learning, listening. We can deliver what this community needs. we're challenged just like every other business operation is with other kinds of issues that are facing, whatever it's unique, whether it's hiring, competitive salaries, those kinds of things. Hanover County is not immune to that. We run into the same thing with our talent. But we've got a lot of projects that we're excited to deliver for this community in the next few years. We're really working to expand those partnerships. When we deliver those new schools, I'm looking forward to those children running into those buildings again like they did in Ashland, really working across aisles with our school board and our community, and really getting those plans to completion, because our goal is ultimately we want to bring everything together, so we're working with intentionality. You're going to hear that much more moving forward. We're not putting businesses haphazardly in places. We're doing it with intentionality. We're recruiting with intentionality. We're delivering services with intentionality that our board is hearing from all of you in this room and their broader constituents, that the staff is hearing and listening, and our goal is to deliver for you. Thank you for coming here this morning, your time, your commitment to Hanover County, and all you do for us. So thank you so much.